Welcome everybody to 1 hour of miniature goodness. Just check that you can all hear me and the sound is okay. Awesome. Let me say hello to everybody in chat. We've got Scorpler, Michelle, the Bull GM, Rod's in chat, James McCoy. I hope you're feeling a lot better, James. Ty's in house, Michelle. I said Michelle once. Okay, let me just creatively's in house as well. Today we are doing I think it's called the Cosmo Wolf. This is from Magic the Gathering. But I'll be using it for other games, I think. Now this particular one, I've got two of these. Now I'm going to do this one in a snow theme. My other one is either for James. Now James is in chat, so I can ask him now. You can either have this one that I'm doing tonight I'm doing it as a snow wolf, or I can send you one unpainted. So James, if you let me know which one you'd prefer, painted or unpainted, it's totally up to you. Okay, very, very simple paint today for this one. What I've done already is I have added some Arctic grey to the whole of the miniature. Let me see if it gets a bit more focus. Just a little tiny bit of focus. That's a bit better. Okay, so James wants this then. He's going to get this one then. Okay, what I've done first, I've given it a whole coat of Arctic grey just to save us a little bit of time. And all we're going to do is build up the layers. So all we're doing is we're going on with some graveyard bone, and then we're going to be layering to make it lighter and lighter until we got a nice bright white going over the whole of the fur. So I shall start putting that on my palette, and we shall make a start. Now, if you look at the little picture on the left-hand side, we've got the little Wizkids Eye of the Beholder. So anybody who's on a painted tier, one of my goblins, that will be the prize for today. Now, what I was going to say to you was, most of you know I've got a Harley Davidson, and it broke down about 2 months ago, and it's been in the garage for the last 2 months. And today the Harley Davidson is back home where it belongs. And what does the Scottish weather do? It absolutely pisses down all day long. So you can guarantee now it'll be rain now for the next God knows how long. Oh, so there we are. That's the type of luck I get. Okay, what we got here? Got my tissue. I've got my paint on my palette. My little warthog has done its job. Let's see if we can get this over here a bit more. And we're just going to start with the darker graveyard bone. And we're going to go heavily across the coat of the whole miniature against the fur. And we want that grey underneath. I know, honestly, the Scottish weather is absolutely crazy. Every year it seems to be around Easter time, you might get a week of sun in Scotland, and then you're kind of winging it for the rest of the year. When I was living in Spain, that was motorbike heaven for bikers, because about 10 months of the year in Spain I was going all around Spain, and you know, it's just absolutely beautiful for bikers. But in Scotland it's a little bit different. Yes, it's very moist weather at the moment. What I'm doing is just going against the fur, not going down. I'm only going one way with the brush. And we want to try and keep it a little bit darker underneath the wolf. So as long as you start with that initial grey primer, it'll work really nicely for what we're going to do. You don't want to use black because we're trying to get like a snow wolf. So if you use black, what will happen is it'll be way too dark for what we're trying to achieve with the miniature. So grey just works perfect. Now that you could do it the opposite way round, like I did in one of my shows the other day. You could paint the wolf white initially, and then you could use that Veleco grey ink wash that I use. But this is actually my preferred method for this type of work, for this type of effect. So just keep working in. So you still see the grey underneath, but what will happen now is we'll keep on highlighting. One of these little arrows is wobbly. I'll have to give that a little glue later. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start adding some white to my mixture now. So I'm just adding some white to that mix that we've just done. Just mixing it on the palette, on my tissue here. And we're going to start making it lighter and lighter, but only on the highest areas. Just keeping adding white. I'm just mixing that in with the graveyard bone, and it's just so we get a lighter highlight going over the top of the fur, and we just keep building that up until we're ready. Okay, adding more white. Working on the tail. So what's happening now is the fur is getting lighter and lighter towards the ends of each of the pieces of fur. We just go over the nose, top of the eyes there. Going back into the white. Adding more white. I'm just doing the highest areas, of course. The rest I want to keep dark. There we are, looking fantastic. Okay, so we're almost in directly the white now, just mixing a tiny bit in now. So we've got one more pass with this, and then we go directly to just pure white for the last highlight. Okay, all we need to do now is we're going directly into the white. We're just using white only, nothing more, and this is the final highlight, and this will be going around the top of the face, ears, and a little bit on the fur. And that's how simple and easy and fast it is to make quite a nice looking fur effect for your winter wolf. I mean, all I've got to do now is paint in the blacks. We'll do those arrows. I'll show you the snow base a bit later. But to me, that looks perfect. We've got nice different highlights around the face there just by doing the dry brushing. We've got the dark areas underneath where we've not touched it at all, and because we've made it lighter and lighter with the fur, it's given a really nice fur effect to the wolf. And that's how simple it is to just get the fur done. So let's carry on and move to the more tricky little bits. And we'll get the arrows painted in. I'm going to use some wood stained brown for the arrows. Just clean my brushes. While I'm doing this, if you want to type in give me a mini, all the people that were on my painted tiers, Claire will add you to the giveaway. Give me a mini! You got a nasty migraine, have you, James? There's nothing worse than having headaches and things like that, because with a migraine it stops you from thinking or doing whatever you want to do. It's really takes it out of you. So just putting some brown on these arrows, or from a ballista, I think someone said before, because if they're a little bit big for a human archer, so it'd either be a giant shooting these arrows or from a ballista, I should think. Like I say, this wolf is from Magic the Gathering, by the way. I have mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. It's not from the other ranges. This is the Magic the Gathering. But like all Wizkids miniatures, you can use them with any game system. I don't think there's an issue with any of the miniatures being used for any of your games. Okay, let that one dry a little bit. Now the wolf has got little beads going around his beard. I need to get some of those beads for my beard. I want to get some Viking beads to go in the old beard there. I'm actually pulling my beard out. We're going to paint those silver, so we'll give that a little mix. Okie dokie, let's go for a smaller brush for this one. Now these little brushes here are from Green Stuff World, and they work out a little bit cheaper than the normal army painter brushes that I've been using. And to be honest, I have to say they are really good. I'm really enjoying them. So if you want to save yourself a little bit of money, try these little packs. They come in packs of 4 from Green Stuff World. Really, really nice little brushes. So I'll just quickly get all these beads painted up. Just a little bit of silver. Okay, and a little bit at the top there. Now once this silver is dried, we'll just go over that little tiny bits with a little black ink wash. I'll just bring out the silver a little bit more. Okay, so we need to move on to black now. And we'll use black for the claws. Okay, so we'll quickly get these claws painted in. Again, we're just going for black for these. And this will be for the nose as well. Because we're adding a snow effect to the base, I'm not adding any texture to the base itself because the whole base is going to be snow, so it'll be much easier to just add that snow effect going across the whole of the base. Okay, let's get the nose in. Nose is just like that. Just get some black into the eyes. Okay. Good. Hello, Carlos. Okay, I'm in full concentration mode tonight. Miles away. I need to check what everybody's saying in chat. Excuse me for drifting away there. I've actually got the blue dragon as well to show you as well. It's absolutely beautiful Wizkids miniature. I'll probably paint that next week on the next show. We'll do the Wizkids blue dragon. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okie dokie. Let's see where we are. There's not actually much that you can do to a white wolf, to be honest. It's white. Okay, let's get some ink wash on there now. Now, ink wash is very simple. I'm just going to put a little bit around the teeth there. And I'm going to use some Agrax Earthshade for that one. A little dark mix there. And we'll just add a little bit around the teeth. That'll just pick out around the teeth, and it's a very simple way of adding a little bit of detail. That'll go into all the recesses of the teeth, and then the teeth will just pop out like so. There we are. Very simple, quick and easy. A little bit of ink wash, and it brings life to the mouth as well. Okay, moving on. We want a little bit of purple now. And I'm going to use the purple for the flections on the arrows. So we just take this across, just give us a little bit of colour for the feathers on the arrows. Oops. I don't think Philippe is streaming tonight after mine, so I won't be able to give Philippe a raid if he's not streaming. There we are. Carlos, I've already put the little silver beads in around the bearded bits here. I'm just going to go over that with a black ink wash in a minute, just to highlight the little bits of silver. But like I say, it's a very simple paint. Thank you for subscribing, Mokai. Okay. sometimes I paint too fast, and things have to dry before I can move on. It's like, come on, dry, dry already. Okay, we just use some nun oil, and it's just a quick nun oil. And what we'll do is just put a tiny little bit of nun oil where I added those little beads on the old beard. This will just give a nice little reflection as well. Thank you for subscribing, Astro Gene. So a very simple and easy paint, and I know you all of you can do this apart from Tao. So so I have faith in everybody who's learning to paint to be able to do your little wolves up like this. I mean, it's only taken me what, the last thank you for subscribing, Scantrahan. I gotta stop trying to say people's names because I can never say them right, and I apologize if I say anybody's names wrong. But yes, absolutely looks fantastic so far. Oh, and Mr. Beads at the top, look, there we go. Now I need to get dwarven beads for my own personal beard. So if anybody out there knows where I can get beads to put in my beard, I would be most appreciated. If you know where I can get something to sort my beard out, because it's starting to go AWOL now. But anyway, let's get back to the wolf. It's looking fantastic, a very simple paint. All we need to really do now is add our snow base and do a little bit more work on the arrows. Now the thing of it is, this wolf has got arrows sticking out of it everywhere. Now I don't actually like adding blood or blood stains to my miniatures, really. What do you think? Do you think this would look better with like blood around the wolf on the fur, or leave it as it is with the arrows sticking out? Oh, it's a hype train. Woo-hoo. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, Tao, I agree. I find sometimes, especially when you're a beginner at painting, you'll notice that everybody wants to add blood to their swords. It can actually ruin a very nice looking paint job when you've got the wrong colour blood, or leave it, can't hurt puppy, fur too thick. Yes, oh good. I personally think if I started adding red to the fur, it would, I don't know, I just think it wouldn't work. Some things just doesn't seem to appeal to me. Anyway, so this is looking fantastic. The face looks awesome, very simple to do. What I'll do now is I will show you how to do the snow. A lot of you have probably seen me do snow before, but let's do it again. Good. Everybody agrees with my brain. That's good. Leave it. Don't add blood. Poor puppy. No. It's just a puppy. Okay. Right. For my... Let's put this over here, and I'll show you how to make the snow for your bases. Now, I use my blister packs from all my miniatures because, as you know, I like to help the environment, or save the environment, by reusing all my reusable bits and bobs. So I use blister packs to mix all my bits in, and it works fantastic. Now, also, a huge, great big tip for you all is, when you buy your snow, buy it by the kilo. Buy it by the kilo, and you only get it only gets stopped by customs now and again. Now, the reason why I say that is because I used to buy my tubs of snow from Army Painter and different companies, and you get the little tubs of snow. 1 kilo of snow. It is a true story, by the way. It's a true story. I bought 1 kilo of this white sand. And it got stopped by the agency because they thought it was a suspect, a substance that it shouldn't be, when it's actually white sand. Anyway, the point is, you can buy this sand in 1 kilo bags, and it's going to cost you about 12 to 15 pounds, and it's the equivalent of like 100 or 200 pots of your £5 Army Painter snow effect, and it's exactly the same thing. It's not like the flaky snow from Games Workshop. All it is, it's white sand. All you're buying is white sand, and you can buy it from most places. So all we got here is white sand. And let me put some in the pot for you. And it makes the most gorgeous snow. Let me see if we can get a closer look. There we go. So this is it. All it is white sand, and I'm telling you to buy it like this because honestly, it will save you a fortune. If you're doing lots of bases or model railways, for example, it really does save you a few pennies, and it works really, really well. And all you do is you get some PVA glue. Thank you for subscribing. I'm missing everybody subscribing. So all you do is you add some PVA glue to the white sand, and you give that a little mix in. Let's see if I can get on camera there. So we just keep on adding lots and lots of glue. And you just keep mixing it until you get the right consistency. Thank you for subscribing. It's everybody's gifting subs, aren't they? They're not actually subscribing. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Scorpler. Thank you, everybody who's been gifting subs. That's very, very kind and sweet of you. Thank you for the people who are subscribing as well. Just using a little mixing stick. We just keep on mixing the snow together. As you can see, we need a little bit more of our snow in there. A little bit more PVA glue. So, ooh. Just keep adding some. I'm making a mess here. Just keep on adding PVA glue. Now we don't want it too runny, and we don't want it too thick. We want it like the little bear says. We want it just right. Okay, so we just keep on mixing this together. And what we're after is a very nice consistency, so it's all sticking together but not runny. You don't want a runny mix. You want it just past runny, but you want it that the glue is completely through all the sand. I think we're just about there now. Remove that little hair. That's about perfect. So we've got a nice thick consistency, and you can see it looks like snow in there. You've got a nice blob of snow. It's not running off to stick. It's one big blob of snow, and we can work with that onto the base, and that'll work absolutely perfect. There we are. So that's our snow ready. Okay, all we need to do now is I'll tidy up my little workstation again, because I've got bits everywhere. You're all enjoying yourself in chat there, I see. Okay, I'm just adding a little bit of my PVA glue to another blister pack. Now this is the most important part about doing the base, and I learnt the hard way when I first started doing them, and that is, you grab an old brush. The most important part of doing these bases is you add PVA glue to the base first. Now this is really important to add to the bottom of the base that you're going to start gluing the snow onto, because this actually will stop the snow from peeling when it dries. Because what will happen is, if you don't add a little layer to the bottom of your base, when the snow does finally dry, you'll find it doesn't always happen, but it can happen, and that is your snow will peel away from the base, especially if you're using it on smooth plastic like this. So by adding that layer of PVA glue first, it really does help in the drying process of the snow. So we just go around nice and simple. There. Now there's lots of different ways you can do with the snow. You could have had rocks and everything, but today I just wanted to show you a nice simple way to just add a basic snow base, which looks very effective. Okay. What are you all like? You're all amazing, all amazing. Okay, right, I'm just using a little pointy stick, not a pokey stick, a pointy stick, and what we're going to do is get a nice big clump of this snow, and we're going to start working it around like we're icing a cake. So we're just going to the edges and moving it across and going around, pushing it down, moving the snow around, just following the edge, just like you're doing a wedding cake. You don't have to be super neat and tidy, because what you're trying to do is just get a layer over the whole of the base, because we can work and tidy that up as we go along. The main thing is just to get that initial amount of snow on the base going all the way around. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit lumpy, because snow falls in funny places anyway. You will get a few areas which are flat, but we'll work on that in a second. All I want to do is try and get the snow on there. Now, drying time is, you've got plenty of time to get the snow on. There's no initial rush. If you made the mix very dry, what can happen is it will start drying out. But that's another reason why we add that layer of PVA glue to start with. We're just starting to push it all around now, and we get the first initial snow on, and then we can start sculpting it around a little bit more. I think I've just made enough for the base, so perfect. So I was just using my little stick there to push the snow around, and we can move any bits here where we want. Okay, last little bit, and then we can start sculpting the snow and flattening it out, making it look a bit more realistic on the base. Good. Okay, a little bit more in there. Let's get rid of the excess. Okay, just to finish off the base now, all we're going to do is just tidy up the snow a little bit more, and we're going to start compressing the snow a little bit with the flat end of our stick. And if there's any details that are hidden, we can just quickly push the snow out the way. It's a really fast, simple and cheap way to make fantastic bases for all your miniatures. It doesn't matter if it's Wizkids, Reaper Miniatures, Games Workshop, Mantic Games. You can do this with all your miniatures, and it really does look fantastic, and it's a very simple way to make your miniatures look so much better, just by adding a little bit of snow, a little bit of basing. I mean, everybody knows I always say a miniature is never finished until you've added a base of some description or form. Anyway, we're just working on the snow now. I'm just going to leave an indentation here, and this will be where the claw hits. So we've got a little bit of, we're digging down a little bit, and we're making a shape of a footprint in the snow there, and that'll be our wolf's footprint where it's just lifted up. Don't know if you can see that there. So we've got the little footprint in the snow where he's just lifted his paw up, and that just adds a little bit more to the base. The very simple thing to do. Okay. Has everybody entered? Has everybody entered the draw that's on a painting tier? I just see Renegade Shank has just joined the chat there. So there we are. That's a very simple and beautiful looking giant wolf by Wizkids Games. So this is from the Magic the Gathering. I'll do a little bit more detail on the arrows, but other than that, it's very simple and easy paint to do, and of course all within the hour. So very happy with that. And like you say, you got the nice little paw print there, just to add a little bit of detail to the base. What time are we on now? So there we are. That's me done for tonight. A very fast and simple little show. Have you got any questions before I say good evening to everybody? I want in the giveaway. Yes, Mocha, you are always added to the giveaway because you have parcels sent to your house. Anybody that gets a parcel who's on a painted tier is eligible to be in the draw. So, oh, yes. Okay then. So, any more questions before I say goodnight to everybody? I will be back on. What day am I on now? I'll be back on Monday. I all hope you enjoy what I'm doing with my shows and these little tutorials. Like I say, they are only an hour long, but what I'm trying to do on each of the shows is show you something a little bit different. It might be a repeat, like doing a snow base, but it's I try to make each one a little bit different. So every time you see me doing a show, you might find you pick up something new or just like a little idea. Thank you, Rod. I tell you, as long as I get the support from my goblins, I will be doing this until I retire and onwards. So you got many years of the Goblin King ahead of you yet. Okay, Claire's going to post up the winner on the Discord. I shall say love to every single one of you, and I will say good evening and take care. And walking the dog. Hey, take care, everybody. Thank you so much for popping on.